Have you ever spent hours debugging date-related bugs only to discover that your code somewhere modified a DateTime object you thought was safe? You'll know the pain. DateTime in PHP is mutable, which means that any code that touches your date object can silently change it, leading to bugs that are incredibly challenging, if not impossible, to track down. The good news is that PHP has given us a better way, the DateTimeImmutable class. Combined with proper time zone handling, custom wrapper classes, and DatePeriod class for working with date ranges, you can write date and time code that's both safer and more maintainable. In this video, we'll discuss why it's easy to accidentally create bugs with DateTime and how DateTimeImmutable solves the problem, how to create a custom AppDateTime wrapper to enforce immutability across your codebase, and practical uses of DateTimeZone and DatePeriod. Hello, developers, and welcome to the PHP Architect channel. I'm Scott Keck-Warren, and today we're diving into how you can use the DateTimeImmutable to fix bugs that have probably cost you hours of debugging without even realizing it. If you're new here, we cover topics related to the PHP ecosystem, so make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss our next video. So let's start out by talking about why DateTime is so bug-prone. Imagine you have this seemingly innocent code. Now, you might think that the recording date stays at December 17th and the publish date becomes December 24th, but here's what actually happens. Annoyingly, both dates are the same. The calculate publish date function modified the original recording date object because, again, DateTime is mutable and PHP passes parameters by reference. Now your scheduling system thinks you recorded the episode on the publish date, breaking other pieces of your code. Again, this is a sneaky bug that can easily slip through code reviews and cause problems in production. The DateTimeImmutable class solves this by being immutable, which means it always returns a new instance every time you modify it. Here's the same podcast scheduling code using the DateTimeImmutable class. And if we run this, we get the expected output. The recording date variable is unchanged because the DateTimeImmutable version of modify returns a brand new version of DateTimeImmutable. If you forget to capture the return value, your code won't work and you'll catch the bug immediately instead of hours later, if not days or weeks. Now, one of the more common sources of bugs in dates is time zone confusion. Time zones are confusing at the best of times and downright baffling at the worst of times because we need to handle things like inconsistent daylight savings times rules and spots where time zones have offsets that aren't full hour increments. The date time zone class makes converting from one time zone to another easier. Now, a common gotcha with time zones is forgetting to specify which time zone you're using when you're creating your dates. PHP will use the default time zone as it's specified in your php.ini, which might not always be what you expect. Because of this, it's a good idea to always specify the time zone, as you never know when someone's going to change a setting and not realize what it will do. We'll be back with more about time zones after this word from our partners.
Every app builds up technical debt over time. It's the unfortunate price that we pay for shipping new features and moving fast. When we build up too much of it, though, it can start to impact how we work. Team velocity suffers, bugs become more frequent and take longer to fix, and everyone starts to get a little bit frustrated. The key to managing debt is to measure it. A credit score can help you understand how well you're managing your debt, and now there's a credit score for technical debt. Go to phpscore.com to get a free technical debt score and monitoring for all of your PHP applications today. Head over to phpscore.com and get control over your technical debt.
Now, when we're using the DateTime classes in PHP, we get to unlock fun things like the DatePeriod class, which is an incredibly powerful way to generate sequences of dates and times. Common use cases including generating calendars or scheduling recurring tasks. And here's how to generate a weekly podcast publishing schedule. The example on the screen shows you how you can use the DatePeriod class to define a weekly podcast scheduling for the month of December. Now, you may have noticed that the DatePeriod excludes the end date by default. If you want to include December 29th in your schedule, you'll need to add one more interval to your date. You can also use the DatePeriod with recurrences instead of an end date. This is perfect for planning out a season of podcast episodes. For example, we may only have 12 episodes and need to know when all of those dates are. Now, when you create a new instance of the DateTime interval, it uses a special format string. It's based on the ISO 8601 duration specification and can be confusing if you're uninitiated. As an example, P1D means period of 1 day, P1M means period of 1 month, PT1H means period time of 1 hour, with the T separating the date part from the time parts. Here on the screen is a couple more common intervals. While DateTimeImmutable is a wonderful addition to your toolbox, you can make your code base even more powerful by creating a custom DateTime class that extends the DateTimeImmutable. This makes it easier to notice when someone accidentally uses DateTime. You can add helpful methods to your class and provide better error messages. Here's an example of a basic AppDate class that I like to use. Notice that I didn't call it AppDateClassImmutable in order to make it a little bit shorter. Because we're extending the DateTimeImmutable class, it operates just like the global DateTime class, but gives us that a little additional power that we're looking for within our own application. As a brief recap, use the DateTimeImmutable class instead of the DateTime class as immutability reduces bugs. Uses DateTimeZone to manage time zone conversions. Use DatePeriod for generating date ranges and recurring events. DateInterval uses the ISO 8601 duration formation, which includes things like P1D for 1 day, P1M for 1 month, and so on. Create an AppDateTime wrapper to enforce immutability and add convenient methods. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to the PHP datetime handling. And here's my question for you. What's the most frustrating datetime related bug that you've ever had to debug? Drop your war stories in the comment section below. I read every single one, and your pain points help me create better content for this channel. If this video saved you from a potential datetime headache, make sure you subscribe and share it with a teammate who needs to see this. It generally helps others discover the channel. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know what PHP topics are giving you trouble right now. You can comment below or message me on any of my social media platforms in the description. This is Scott Keck Warren for the PHP Architect channel signing off and reminding you to keep watching, keep coding, and keep reading.